Hi, I'm Eddie C. Smitty Smith, a father, grandfather, and a lifelong resident of this county. I'm married to Nancy Smith. I'm a member of Union Grove Missionary Baptist Church, where Reverend L.C. Tyler is our pastor. As I mentioned, I've spent most of my adult life in this county. I've spent most of my adult life in public life, meaning I've taught school for a career, and I've participated in county government as a member of the County Board of Supervisors for 28 years. And two of those terms I served as chairman of the board. And I would like to say I'm proud of the productivity that I either influenced, initiated, or supported while sitting on the Board of Supervisors. I come into this situation with a bit of enthusiasm, particularly because until 2 terms ago, I had supported the mayor and was willing to give him a chance to do what needed to be done to bring our town into the forefront and to put us in a place of prestige that we deserve. That hasn't been done, and for that reason I'm running for the mayoral position. I'm not interested in the money necessarily, because I will accept probably a third of the pay. The pay is $66,000 plus travel. I will probably accept about $20,000, $40,000 will be left on the table, with which we can do projects or fund small projects, or maybe even hire some consultants, whatever the board would decide to do with that. Mainly, as I look, I see some things that really bother me. The lack of cooperation of the city with the County Board of Supervisors. This is a very small county. Economic times are difficult. And unless we're willing to sit down and work together and do what's best for the community, then we are doomed to go nowhere. So basically, that's about the first statement I'd like to make, and I'd like to go over these questions and kind of answer those in a summation type of fashion. It says, what plans do you have that will increase jobs in the city of Clarksdale? Well, the first thing, I would try to improve our image. We don't have a very good image. Basically, people look at us on TV and on the internet and think of us as being a place that's troubled and has a lot of crime and whatever. And we have meetings at which we argue and differ and bicker and go on. So I would like to try to improve our image. And number one, I would try and enhance and emphasize our positive features. And we do have some positive features. This is a good place. We have good climate, good place to go to school. You have lots of good fishing places, hunting, etc. I would also scout companies to find companies that would fit our situation and see if we could interest them in coming here. I would also protect the jobs we already have here. See, if we continue to get jobs and lose the ones we have, we're right back where we started from. I look at the airport, for example. There's a lot of money that has been put into that airport, but not very much has been done with it. I would be willing to try and see if we can't do something with that. Recreation was the next question. What do I plan to do if elected with recreation? Well, I anticipate organizing activities or recreational activities that would be centered around recreation, wellness, and education. These activities would be for persons of all ages. And I think to involve those in facilities that we already have would be the most feasible way to do that. Schools and churches, we already have those facilities. So I think we could also do that. What could I do to reduce crime? Well, the first thing is to increase the pay and the benefits of our police officers. Normally what we've had happening, we don't pay enough, so people will come here, work, and get the experience on their resume and go on someplace else. So we end up being a training school for policemen. And we also end up losing our better policemen and end up hiring a lot of young policemen. And that's not always good either. We'd have fair promotions, and we'd provide opportunities for those persons that are on the force to grow through educational experiences, get additional degrees in law enforcement or whatever they need to do, and become better professionals. We do this through workshops and through various other kinds of training. The next one is, how would you administer different from the present mayor? Well, in the first place, I'd work to reduce crime, work to reduce car tags, work to reduce our utilities, and I would seek additional funds and gifts which would allow us to do that. The other thing we could do is to use the legislature to do special bills for us. This is called local and private. I've been told that we haven't had a local and private introduced from the city of Clarksdale in 10 years. Then I would try to steer clear of more bond debt, particularly the kind of bond debt that we incur and it goes a decade or more into the future like we did the last time for the streets and some other improvements. We got a bond debt that's going to last 12 years. Well, that's a little bit selfish to me because the person had no way of knowing whether they'd get elected in the next election. And to indebt us for the next 12 years is like me telling you, asking you what do you want, and I go out and get it for you, and you find out after we severed our relationship that I put it on your credit card, and that's about what happened to us. So I would steer very clear of. I would just like to run through, without doing the questions, run through some things that I think would make this city an attractive city and a place for folks to come to. As I mentioned, to improve our image, to promote our positive aspects, to attract more jobs, clean up and keep our city clean, reduce crime and violence, reduce tags, reduce property taxes, a periodic meeting with the business owners and find out what their problems are. Because every time we lose a business, we lose some employees and we lose some money and some tax dollars. To lower utilities, to create more unity, respect, and togetherness between city and county officials and boards. This would allow us to work together on some things. To preserve the jobs that are already here. To attract economic development around the bypass. Right now we have a bypass and that's just about what happens to us. We need to have some things out there and we need to make it, the city needs to make this attractive enough for someone to be willing to invest their dollars in doing that. To encourage retirees to come or return to Clarksdale. A lot of folks that have left here, some have never been here, but we'd like to make it attractive enough that they would come. These are people that have would have gotten lump sums. They have money where they can buy houses and stuff, and it would be good to get them back here. The completion of the 4-lane from the higher ed center out to the college. The next thing, to effectively use our local airport as a source of revenue. Also to kind of look at creating some harmony between the various ethnic groups by understanding and respecting the differences of people. To do a better job of hiring our own college graduates and locals in general. We have a history of going someplace to find folks to bring them here to give them jobs that could have been occupied by our local graduates and students. To conduct professional, productive city meetings. To improve benefits and working conditions for city employees. To hire and promote in a fair and impartial manner. To seek additional outside funding, grants, gifts, etc. Hold regular departmental meetings. To offer opportunities for city employees to receive professional and educational advancements. And we'd already mentioned the recreational opportunities. In general, I would say yes, it is broken, but by working together, we can fix it. And on June 2nd, I would like to sincerely urge you to vote for a change that we need if we're going to survive. Vote Smitty for Mayor of Clarksdale, June 2nd, 2009. That's it.